is that the wicked bear rule over this earth. And the Heavenly Father allowed that to happen. But He's going to punish them in the end, so no worries. They will pay. He casteth forth His ice like morsels. Who can stand before His cold? No one. The cold will kill you. That's the Heavenly Father doing all this. So, going back to over here, Sirach chapter 42, verse 22. Oh, how desirable are all His works, and that a man may see even to a spark of all His works. All these things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. Right, because the snow listens to the Heavenly Father. The heat, he can also bring drought, right? Let me see, First Samuel's. No, it was Second Samuel's. Here, Second Samuel's 24, if I'm correct. No, it was 23. No, it was 22 then. No. It was 24. Let me see. No. Wait. Oh. Wait. Second Samuel 21 and 1. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, it was for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. So you can read the rest for yourself. But the Lord did that. He caused the land to have famine and drought. Because of famine came drought. Also in Egypt, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine, which drought. And there was no rain upon the land, so there was a drought, and therefore famine. Right? The Lord does that. I will send famines also. Wait. And I will send the sword and famine. For Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 17. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. The host means army. Behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and I will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. Well, this goes into all those things, but He's the one that sends those things, right? So it says here, all things are double one against another, and He made nothing imperfect. So my original story was that this guy came over here and he said that nothing is unclean in itself. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. So it says here, all things are double one against another, and He had made nothing imperfect. So even the unclean animals and unclean things are imperfect, are perfect. Why? Because the Heavenly Father made them. He made all things for His. I'll get to that. It says that the Heavenly Father made all things opposite to another, like, for example, man versus woman, fire versus water, cold versus hot, high versus low, right versus left, and had made nothing imperfect. So even an unclean animal is perfect. But does that mean we can eat it? No, we cannot. You can't eat an unclean animal. He made it perfect for its purpose. Because, for example, what do shrimp, lobster, and crabs do in the ocean? They eat the dead feces. Crabs eat dead flesh in the water. In the ocean, actually. They eat dead flesh. Crayfish, for example. Let me see, what's crayfish again? Yeah, this is kind of lobster, whatever. Something like that. Eat decaying vegetation and aquatic creatures such as rotting leaves, dead fish, algae, plankton, and twigs and stuff like that. So they're natural pork of the ocean. They're the natural pigs of the ocean. They clean up stuff. And what do catfish eat? They are perfect. Catfish eat aquatic plants, the insects, and but they also eat like the fungus and stuff like that. But the catfish eat these things? Yes, they eat it, but they don't go out shopping. But if it falls in the water, they will eat it. But they do eat. They eat things to clean up the natural ocean cleaners and stuff like that. They're bottom feeders. So they clean up stuff on the bottom that falls there, or else the ocean would be a whole big garbage pile. And they're cleaning up the things. That's how perfect the Lord is. He made them to eat sorry. Sorry. He made them to eat those things, but you are not allowed to eat those things. So, yeah. And the Heavenly Father also made the wicked according to, for the days of evil. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So even the wicked was created by the Heavenly Father. Why? For the day of evil. So when people need to be punished, he will send the wicked to come and punish you. In this case, Satan, for example, but in many cases, he sends other nations. I'll get to that also. For example, right here, Psalm 17:8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. This is King David praying to the Lord to hide him and keep him as his favorite. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies. These are people, by the way, also. People who compass me about. They surround me, trying to fight with him. Because if you check out King David, he was always surrounded by fighting and wars. They are enclosed in their own fat. They're full of themselves. With their mouths, they speak proudly. They're very proud and they're full of themselves. These enemies of King David, which are the heathen nations surrounding him. They have not compassed us in our steps. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, meaning they look stinky upon you. It's like look beside your nose or something. How you call that? No. Look down on people. Looking down on people, the images. Yeah, like a snobby person, like, with the chin up in the air and, just your chin up in the air. And you're looking down through your nose. Looking down through your nose. Through. Yeah, like this. They got their nose up in the air. Who do you think you are? Right, that's how they look at you. Right, like this, like, that's how they give you that look. The fuck you looking at? You're nothing, you're nobody to me. So that's how they was looking at King David. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So the wicked is the sword of the Lord. From men, which are the sword of the Lord, from men which are thy hand, he uses men to punish other people with. O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children. They leave the rest of their substance to their babes. That's why you have, especially these rich people, they have all the hidden treasures of the earth. And they have their portion in this life. Their portion is very big. They're living lavishly, especially starting with the wicked that rule this earth, that can do all things and get away with it. For example, this guy, DuPont, convicted of raping his daughter, spared prison. Now you can go, I'll put this link in the description box. And he doesn't go to jail. Why? Because the Lord shows you that in the book of Psalms again, 73. The wicked, this is talking about the wicked. Verse 3, Psalm 73, verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Verse 5. I'll just jump to there. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Look here, this guy, he was spared jail cell. Instead of sentencing him to prison for touching on his little daughter, this said he would not fare well in jail. Here, look at his face. And I don't know what the hell this is about, but that's not it. This is his daughter, because I looked up the article. This is what the judge said. Would not fit. Wait, where is it? Here, she said, after judge ruled, would not fare well behind bars. That's what the judge said. So clearly, he's not in trouble as other men. Clearly, he can just do a lot of things that a lot of people can't do. But then again, you have here, for example, sentenced to life. Oh shit, Google. You doing your job. Upholds life sentence on black man that sold 1 ounce of weed or something like that. Sentenced to life without parole after having little more than 1 ounce of marijuana. That's what he got. Life. The other, like this other man, this was in 2022. This was in 2021. And this is in 2020. There's so many cases, man. Anyway, this guy was sent to life for $30 of marijuana. Was resentenced and will be whatever will be released. I don't know. I'll put the link in the description box if you are interested. So let me go back to here. Right, they're full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. So they always leave stuff for their children because hey, they're prosperous, right? So yeah, this is Psalms. But yeah, this is how the Lord can punish you, by sending other nations against you also. Now it says here, this is the book of First Ezra in the Apocrypha. Right, and First Ezra is the same as let me see, Second Chronicles 35, if I'm correct, right? Was it Second Chronicles? Or was it First Chronicles? Let me see. Here, oh yeah, Second Chronicles 35. Moreover, Josiah kept the Passover unto the Lord in Jerusalem, and they killed the Passover on the 14th day of the first month, which was in around March. And this is here, First Ezra. And Joshua held the feast of the Passover in Jerusalem unto the Lord, and offered the Passover the 14th day of the first month. So you can read that for yourself. It's the same chapter, by the way. Right. So going back to First Ezra chapter 1, verse 34. And the people took Joachaz, the son of Josiah, which is Josiah, right? They translated different here, and made him king instead of Josiah his father, when he was 23 years old. And he reigned in Judea and in Jerusalem 3 months. And then the king of Egypt, the hand of the Lord, because he said here, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, deliver me from them. Deliver my soul from the wicked. Okay, so back to over here. These are also the wicked. Disposed him from reigning in Jerusalem. So he took him out of power. And then he taxed him. And then here, it says here, verse 38, and he bound, but you need to read the rest for yourself, but yeah. You know what? I'm going to read it. And he reigned in Judea. Oh, yeah, I already read that. And he set, the king of Egypt, and he set a tax upon the land of 100 talents of silver and 1 talent of gold. The king of Egypt also made King Joachim, his brother, king of Judea and Jerusalem. So he took him out of power. So you might ask yourself, why did he do that? Well, Josiah did evil before the Lord. And he bound Joachim and the nobles, but Zacharias his brother he apprehended and brought him out of Egypt. So he took him out of Egypt, and he brought him from out of Egypt. 25 years old was Joachim when he was made king in the land of Judea and Jerusalem, and he did evil before the Lord. Right? So, okay, now he did evil. So what happened? Wherefore, so because he did evil, against him Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came up and bound him with a chain of brass and carried him into Babylon as a slave. And let me see. And Joachim his son reigned in his stead. He was made verse 43, sorry. And he was being 18 years old and reigned but 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem. And what did he do? And did evil before the Lord. So after a year, Nebuchadnezzar sent and caused him to be brought into Babylon with the holy vessels of the Lord. Right? So he, basically, once the children of Israel did evil, guess what? He enslaved them. The Lord punished them. And you can see that here also. Psalms 106, verse 32. They angered him also with the water of strife. Who? Moses. So that it went ill with Moses for their sakes. So because of them, he actually got this, he got punished. He got destroyed. How? Numbers chapter 20, verse 3. And the people showed with Moses. Showed is fighting, basically. Eh? What the hell? No. Ancient word. What? No. This is slang. That's not what the word means. Let me see. Showed. Etymology. What? You know what? Let me go here to the Blue Letter Bible. And then I type in the word showed itself. Yeah, here. Numbers 20 and 3. The word showed, which is Hebrews 73:78. Which means to strive, contend, fight against. That's what it means. To quarrel. To contend against. So I don't know what the hell this is. It's some kind of new meaning or whatever. I don't know. The new definition of the word. I don't know. And the people showed with Moses and spake, saying, would the Heavenly Father that we had died with our brethren died before the Lord? So they was fighting with him. Verse 7. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the rod, and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord, as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, hear now, ye rebels, because they was fighting against them. Much must we, is him and Aaron, thus him and Aaron, must we fetch you water out of this rock? And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly. And the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore, so because ye did that, ye shall not bring this congregation in the land which I have given them. That's why he killed them all off, and their offspring went into the land along with Moses. He died also, by the way. Only Caleb and Joshua went into the promised land, and everybody else he excluded because they didn't sanctify him. They didn't. Moses made it look as if he was the one that brought forth the water. He should have said, must the Lord fetch you water out of this rock? Right. And that's what it means here when it says, they angered him also at the water of strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sakes, because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So the Lord told them to go kill these people, but they didn't. They didn't listen again. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them, which is a trap. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. What are the idols of Canaan? The idols of Canaan, right? Among them was Baal. Look at him here. Here. Look at him here. Look at him here. Baal was, Nimrod, but it was also this Molech dude, right? Which is the cow, right? As you can see it here. And that's what the Israelites was worshiping. So, and what does the cow do? Well, and if you don't know that that is Baal, it was the golden calf, by the way. Everybody remember the golden calf from Egypt that the Israelites was worshiping. Right, this is the golden calf. But nowadays, the golden calf is then there for this. Wait, let me see. Where is it again? Wait, let me go here first. The book of Tobit. Heifer. Tobit 1 and 17. No, Tobit 1 and 5, sorry. Tobit chapter 1. This is the Apocrypha again. Now all the tribes which together revolted in the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal. What is a heifer? A heifer is a cow. Right. And so the heifer Baal. So what was that? It was the golden calf, which is what they was worshiping back in the time of Egypt. The Israelites was worshiping the golden calf. As you can see here, the tribe of Naphtali, which is one of the 12 tribes. So these are the things that they used to do unto the Planned. This is Planned Parenthood, Baal, basically nowadays. This is what they're doing. They're offering their child unto Baal, into the sacrifice. They're spilling the blood of the children. You might say like, oh, it's not a baby yet. But they so-called found life on Mars. This would be called life on Mars. On Earth, this is not. Right? This would be called life on Mars. But on Earth, this is not. So check the hypocrisy. But then again, who rules this Earth? The Earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If you kill an eagle egg or destroy it, destroying one is punishable by a $250,000 fine or up to 2 years in prison. Here, these females could just do whatever the hell they want. But it's all good. It's all good. Because the wicked rule the earth, and they are the ones that are passing these laws. Right? And the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people. So the heathen nations, the Lord don't care about you. He's going to punish you, but he don't care about you. Insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. What does the word abhor mean? Abhor. So when you check out the definition of the word abhor here, and also the dictionary here, it doesn't mean regard with disgust or hatred. No, if you check out the definition of the word, it means means away from, and horer means to shudder. So what is shudder? Shudder is this. Right? Shudder is when you have this, like for example, this. Ugh. Ugh. Right. So if you shudder away, that means you're kind of disgusted with somebody. But that doesn't mean you hate somebody. No. Abhor doesn't go into hatred. It kind of goes into disgust, you could say. But it doesn't go into hate. And so, right. So the Lord, he was disgusted with his people. because of these things that they was doing, right? And he gave them into, this is what the Lord did for their punishment. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Well, now you know why the slave descendants went into slavery, because we sinned against the Lord. And guess what the Lord will allow to have, will allow for us to go through, will allow for things to happen to us. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand for their punishment. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Until this day, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos are brought low. The so-called Caucasian people came to the Native Americans, raped, robbed, murdered them. But they was doing evil things in their land also. So, the Heavenly Father allowed these heathen nations to come and destroy them. But he still loves them, because he says it right here. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. So they started crying, please, Lord, forgive me. What is regard? Consider or think of in a specific way. So the Lord thought of him, He came to their protection. Regard. Re means back, like replay, and God there is to guard. So basically he protected them. He came back to, basically, let me see. Let me give an example. Pay attention to, relate, okay? He basically regarded them for their affliction that they was going through when he heard their cry. And he remembered for them his covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. So they started feeling sorry for them, like, oh, look at these slaves. they had them in slavery. These heathen nations had the Israelites in slavery multiple times, not just Egypt. If you read the book of Judges, you will see they went into slavery for 70 years. I just showed you the book of First Ezra, how they went into slavery. But if you read the whole chapter, you're going to find out for yourself. Right. And but the only place where the Israelites have found no pity is in the captivity of America when they went into slavery over there. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. So you can read the rest for yourself, but I'm just going to hit the topics, like the key points. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. So when we want food, we need to go to them. When we want water, we need to go to them. When we want clothing, we need to go to them. And in want of all things, when we want housing, cars, anything and everything you can imagine, we need to go to them, because we don't have a land. We don't have a standing army. Every nation on this planet Earth has a standing army. The slave descendants don't have that. So they can't even defend.